Welcome to Spiritual Boom, the video and audio podcast. I'm your host, Eden Koz, a soul realignment and New Earth specialist. My show has evolved from talking about the Great Awakening to really focusing on the new earth and more discussing and being the shiny, new, ascended human. My website, edenjustbe.com, and let's get this party started. The show, as you can see in the notes, I'm going to read it. Vulnerability, light, and pasta. Me, Eden Koz, talking this week on Ascension. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about Ascension. The great split that is going on and what that means to you. My new earth eating, and also the truthers and the alpha males, given the Awakening Summit that I was just at this past weekend in New York. Plus, I'm going to go into the real idea again, which I think is so important. Who's going to be on the show upcoming? Some really great people. And also, there are going to be some tears that are going to be shed on this show. Incredibly, again, vulnerability, incredibly vulnerable. I probably will not watch this show back, which normally I don't watch shows back anyway. This is one. Have fun watching it. Oh, and by the way, to really be clear, that the recent experiences that I've had, even though they felt negative or yucky, I am so grateful for them. I am so grateful to everyone who has brought this to my attention, to those that may not seem that it was that nice, knowing that it was all for my greater good. So I am so grateful for every friggin' piece of it, every person that has brought this growth to my life. Thank you. Eden Koz, Spiritual Boom, in association with the Grassroots Warriors Network. How the heck are you guys doing today? I am so curious to see what this is going to be like, because things have been in a whirlwind. I wanted to jot down at least some notes to keep me on track, but everything just said, go, go, go. Talk off the cuff. Don't plan a darn thing. It'll all be fine. And as y'all know, this podcast is usually one of hope and excitement and expansion. And it's still going to be that today. Yet I've got to come in and be straight up. The past month and a half has felt like 10 years. The level of growth is astounding. Yet to go through this level of growth, there has been so much crap to look at, to decipher through, to take, to decide, to change. It is just like I was thinking about it today. The hardest parts of my life so far have been the cusp of finding out my daughter had special needs, but I didn't know to what degree at that point. So that was challenging. Then the infection that I had, that I've talked about before, that was 2 years of major healing, my near-death experience, that was big. Then getting a divorce and COVID and waking up all at the same time, holy smokes, and changing all my relationships, that was big. Yet this kind of gets there to that level. And the reason this is happening right now for me, and for a lot of my clients too, and for those who are awake, and especially I'm imagining, I know a lot of light workers and healers that are going through this right now. We are on the cusp of going into this big split where we are consciously and unconsciously deciding who we are going to be. Are we going to officially move into the light, move into the 5D and beyond, move into the ascension, or are we going to stay trapped? And for me, right now, it's about, I'm getting a little, I was wondering if I was going to get tearful. It is looking and facing and moving through all the deep, dark programming that is in there. And so much of it for me now is lineage from my family. It's not really mine, if you want to put that way, but it is mine. Yet it, what is so challenging is the programming is so deep and it feels so real, even though I know it's not. When you're in it and I'm in it, it is just like every bone in your body, every emotion, it's just parts of it. Okay, I'm going to use these words. It feels so horrible and freezing and all of that. So I'm in this mixture of that. Yet also, I learned so much again this weekend of deservedness and self worth. So, feeling some of that and feeling the power behind it, it's just this incredible mix right now of it all. And it's just, and for me too, going back on going through this breatharian experience right now, which I call the new earth expansion into physical embodiment in terms of learning to get your nutrition from light, from your breath versus from food. So not only am I going through this because I am in the middle of it, I'm down to 95 pounds right now, which to look at my body in the mirror is sometimes startling because when I went through the infection, I got down to 90. So, and right now too, everything is turning to mush. I am doing some yoga. I'll probably go out and walk today, but minimal exercise at this point. So I feel good, yet it is still startling and hard. So not only am I going through this total physical transformation, which I need to give myself a little bit of grace because of everything that I'm doing, a total physical transformation. And I'm going to repeat these things just so you guys know this is not for the weekend. I'm doing it for myself, but I'm also doing it for the earth and doing it for all of you guys to show that it is possible. I haven't had solid food since March 15th. I've got another month at least to go. Maybe I'll go longer. I don't know. So, right now, surviving and surviving, which again, this is kind of impossible on 4 cups of liquid a day. 2 of those cups are water, and then 2 cups juice broth without any fiber. And not to say, so sometimes I do more than 2 cups because literally, you think about it, going anywhere right now from 100 to maybe 500 calories a day. I will get a smoothie today. Uh, so it will be at the higher end. Went for, as I'm going to repeat this again, because to show how this is major, this is major. Went for 4 days without food or water, so a dry fast. A lot of my fellow initiates went for 5, several went for 8. Ray, who is our facilitator, has gone for 10. I am strong in my conviction for this, even though at times, and I found that, we talk about emotional eating, that I usually don't have a pull towards emotional eating, but when stuff with my special needs daughter goes down, that is when I want to eat. And that happened once, and now I'm in the middle of that right now. So there's another thing, challenges with her right now, which I'm like, why now? Oh my gosh, I just want to eat something. So staying the course and staying on task and not letting myself look at my body and go, oh my gosh, what are you doing to yourself? Looking at it and going, yes, you were strong enough to handle this. You can do this. Okay. I'm going to go into this for a second. So I just got back yesterday from my truth tour speaking in New York. What an experience that was. It was a very yucky experience. one that also I needed to go through. So there are all these experiences right now that are not very fun. And I see the beauty in it. Yeah, man, and I'm strong enough to handle it. Okay, let me just give a quick gloss over of it. So, was on a podcast recently with two of the people that were going, and the woman who was hosting it talking about me being a speaker on there and what I was going to speak about. And with that, it seemed really official. Okay, because part of it is I would not go to this truth tour on my own because I know, I pretty much know everything that's, because I do this. I live this life. Oh, and I wanted to bring up quickly, totally separate. I'm wearing my spiritual warrior t-shirt today because to help keep me invigorated, but also to let everybody know I'm taking my merchandise down for the next week. It was a labor of love to do it. I really enjoyed creating it and putting it out there, and didn't make any money from it. I probably spent way more time and money on it. So I'm going to put it to a halt. It's time. Yet if anyone wants to get anything, I actually don't know what works on there anymore. So it's just going to be up there for a week. So feel free. I love this shirt. I'll probably get me a couple more just to have. So goodbye merchandise. That was a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. Okay, so back to this truth tour. Okay, first I have decided that I am not going to be engaging in any more truth movements. That from this point on, any talks that I do are going to be really high level ascended talks, because I really saw clearly that my energy didn't quite align, which is awesome. Because I've been doing a whole bunch of work, and where I'm heading with being a NewEarth specialist and all that, this is where I need a desire to be. So seeing that I don't quite align to that anymore, which is a beautiful experience. I wish it would have come about a different way, but yeah. So anyway, I did a podcast with the woman who is doing the show, and it basically said I'm going to be a speaker there. So my beautiful man and I get there Friday, and we're told that the speakers are going to be meeting at this restaurant. So we get there and go in, and basically one of the women there says, "We do not have you on the list. Uh, we do not essentially have enough. So you're going to have to sit somewhere else. I'm really sorry about this." And I was like, oh, and it's a crowded Italian restaurant. And also, we're not eating. We're not eating. So inside of my body, I was like, oh no, we are going to sit at this table, and everybody's just going to move in, and it's going to be okay. There is no way I'm going to put myself at another table in this restaurant where you guys all sit here and eat. It was just like one of those things that I was just captivated with, also knowing that we're in this movement and we're also supposed to be together, and it just felt so contradictory to all of that. Oh, and there's more. This isn't the only piece, but I think this is the only piece I'm going to discuss. So then it was so interesting. So I've in this Breatharian NewEarth nutrition process, I've gone out to eat with others, but it's been very minimal. So I am sitting at this table in this Italian restaurant with huge plates of salad and pasta being passed right under my nose. The dessert plate was so big. So brownies, whipped cream stacked about this high on a big plate, and so much was not eaten. So to be there and see it all, and to smell it, and to watch the massive amounts. So one dessert, my man and I ended up giving it to the table sitting right beside us because it wasn't being eaten. There was so much. So to be in that position where I felt I was not respected, and so much of this was again to, from this point on, to really know I have self-worth. And from this point, I will not be disrespected like this again. So this is really excellent. But to be put in that situation first, and then to have all this food passed by us, which I knew that was going to happen, it was so interesting because I wasn't drawn towards it, which was really nice. And there were parts of it that I could see. Like, it was also wonderful that I had stopped doing sugar probably about 3 or 4 years ago. I'm not sure the exact time now. And looking at that dessert plate and having no interest in it at all. And I did taste just a little bit of some of the sauce that was on a pasta, just a little bit. And it was so sweet. It wasn't really that good. So that was interesting. I also learned from this event that, okay, let me see how to say this. There's one person in this movement, let's call it, that I had clear respect for, yet I got to see there's a major problem that needs to be dealt with. So that was very, very eye-opening as well. Again, I get to see so many people that I feel okay, have it all together, and they don't. So it allows me to look at myself knowing I'm going to proclamate to you, I am doing this work. I am clearing out so much stuff so I can be there not only for myself, but I can be there and be real and be true and be authentic and be all healed through this period of time, and knowing that I'm going to continue to elevate nonstop, that it never stops, which is great. Yet, when you come to me, when you look at me, I'm doing the work. I get emotional on that too. I am talking the talk. I am walking the walk. Okay, let me share this other part with you guys, which I think is so interesting. So there was a panel at the end of the summit that had all the men on stage. And it was to talk about the need for the alpha male to come out. Okay, so I looked up the term alpha male while right before it started, that the alpha male, okay, well, let me look it up right now if y'all can give me a second, because some of it was good, but then one part of it was like, I didn't like it. Male. All right. Okay, and the panel I understood because there's so much. So even at the conference, there were so many women, and knowing right now that having the men step up for all of these issues that we are going through, and the child trafficking part is really important. Okay, I have a different perspective on that too. All right, so the alpha male is traditionally described as a confident, assertive, influential leader who takes charge, acts decisively, and maintains high social and professional standing. These individuals are characterized as strong-willed, ambitious, and independent behaviors, often acting as the top dogs in their field. This wasn't the one I read. The one I read talks about them being dominant. Okay. So it was really interesting with these men on stage. I can't remember how many. There were like 8 to 10. They started, two of them started to fight amongst each other, which I was sitting there going, well, isn't this interesting? So I wanted to get things back on track. So I raised my hand. So my man is sitting there with me, and I basically said, okay, I was going to turn it back to the spiritual side. So this was a spiritual event, but it was also a lot of real life stuff too. So in order to kind of stop this bickering among these men and to turn it back around, I brought up, okay, I feel right now is, and these aren't my exact words, this is paraphrasing it, that we are moving into the role of the divine feminine. So women actually do need to be a part of this. and do need to be the drivers. Men need to be it too, but women need to be in the forefront. They need to be allowed to speak. And the men need, I feel, to be there to protect them, to let them have this voice, to let them be the creators, to move away from the patriarch into this matriarch. But also, the men are also so important in terms of their vulnerability, in terms of women appreciating and loving them. So I finished my little speech, and you know what they said back to me? They said, haha, they all started laughing. What does your husband have to say to this? Okay. And at the time, there's so much that I could have said, and I'm going to say it now. So I ended up saying he's not my husband. Okay. I didn't know what else to say. But then driving back yesterday, I suddenly got a little tweaked with that I essentially was criticized, that they looked at the man for him to speak up. And here's what I should have said: that my man right here is here to support me, that he doesn't feel like he needs to get up and defend himself. And if there's something that he disagrees with what I said, he will talk to me in private about that. Yet he feels comfortable enough within himself for me to get up and to talk, and for him to be my bodyguard, and for him to be an example of what the new man is, to stand by me, let me have my voice, let me be heard, and support me. So wasn't it interesting that this panel of men basically came back and pointed the finger not only at me, but at him too, that he wasn't standing up, that he wasn't being good enough. This is so contradictory in terms of where we are heading, what needs to be, what is. And I have to say, so my 5D man and I, we have been through it as well. Not that this is perfect, but he is really showing me also, and kind of the world. I don't know if he knows it or not, too, what this new man is going to be like. And he's not perfect right now. I'm not perfect right now. We're still figuring out our roles and our voices through all this. But oh my gosh, I've come a long way. He has as well. So with all of this, I want to come to you right now. It is time to choose who we are going to be. And God's source, the universe, is unrelenting, it seems like right now, going to help us make that decision. I today, saying this again, walking my walk, talking my talk. Oh, and there is one more thing I want to share with you guys. It is pretty vulnerable as well. In the past, when I have gone through periods of elevation and ascension, what has typically happened is parts of my life have broken down, and I've used this breaking to propel me forward. Okay, what is happening right now is, in this great elevation that I'm going through, in this great learning that I'm going through, abundance is dwindling. And this is what I've used in the past to also get to a bottom level point to go, oh my gosh, this is what's going to push me forward. I really am working on that not happening at this point. Yet it is. And it is really challenging to also know that what's in front of your face is not the truth. That I am this abundant creature, that it is just it. I'm getting to the point that it's so tangible. Yet I ended up, okay, let's put an example for that. Okay, well, a couple of examples in terms of this elevation right now, and working with this business coach as well. I have invested so much in myself that I've never invested before. I am investing in programs, and then the past 2 months, my sessions are dropping. Like people are dropping like flies. And I just got home from spending a good bit of money on this truth tour, which who knows if I'm going to get any monetary benefit from it. Oh, I've got huge benefit in terms of myself. So I get home last night. I have the biggest bill that I have of the year sitting on my kitchen counter. The biggest bill. And knowing that right now my money, my resources are coming from savings. It, it is just like part of me asking God, go, please just give me something. But then I get into this kind of victimy mode. And then I go back to this faith and this trust in myself, knowing it's happening. I may not see it at this point right now. Yet my job right now is to see every beautiful thing and to have gratitude for every beautiful thing. So it is, when we talk about the split, it is feeling all of it at the moment. And and also one of the other things that happen when I go through these periods of growth, I shrink. And I'm shrinking right now, but I am choosing that. It's not just happening to me. I am I am purposefully in control of it. So that is so interesting as well. So I'm looking at you, looking at the camera and going, you got this. You can do this. And a part of you has to, because you know what is coming and you know what is already here. There are so many experiences in my life right now that are just so beautiful. There are challenges, but they're seeing the beauty. I feel it and I taste it. And I've already discussed moving to New Mexico, seeing that. I have my Taos things all around in my earthship. So when I look over, I feel it, knowing that that is going to be soon in my life and that my life is going to be this next level, living the best life. And if I can do it, you can too. I'm going to pause for a moment and think if there's anything else to say. And isn't it interesting right now? My special needs 24-year-old daughter, there's some challenges, yet for her to get out of it, let's call it, is her using her voice and being authentic and being herself, which I look at that and she's always been a mirror for me. I look at that and I go, you've got to be kidding. That's exactly what I'm doing here. And for my man and I, this going to New York was really going to be the test if we were going to make it through, and we did. So in doing that too, my vulnerability, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm crying so much, everybody, but I'm not sorry. My vulnerability with him is going to need to increase. My desire for support is going to need to increase, because one of the things I've always done is I've been the one responsible for pulling myself up. I've been the one who makes it happen. Stopping that. And now trusting that I don't have to chase anything anymore, that I am the magnet for abundance, for great things in my life. And isn't it funny, again, that my company is called Just Be? My facilitator that I've worked with for years, my mentor, always laughed at that. Oh, Eden, look what you named your company, Just Be. Isn't it so ironic? Gosh, I hope I've covered everything. So be strong. I will. And it was so amazing to be vulnerable with you guys today, to show you guys what I'm going through. And this is amazing. Jean Decode, who I think is fabulous, is going to be on the show next week. And then Twyla Brace, who has millions listen to her radio show, is going to be on the next week. We're really going to focus on the Real ID. And I got to talk about that for 1 minute. They allowed me to speak at this truth tour about the Real ID. And I know of at least one person who's going to change hers. Hopefully, that whole room will change it out with just 1 minute of speaking, because that's something you can do inexpensively and easily, except if you're in one of the 5 states where you can't do that anymore, which I know it's Georgia, Florida, Texas. I can't remember the other two right offhand, but I encourage you guys. This is your driver's license. So I will bring this up. Actually, I do have two things to bring up. Get rid of it, and get rid of it now, because soon you may not be able to. In New York, it was $17.50 to renew. Ohio, I paid like 30 something dollars. All I did was go in, say, I want to get rid of this, because this is what you have right now. It's a federal ID. It's a domestic passport. It's unconstitutional for the airports for you to be required to have it. If you don't want to talk that talk, get a passport. If you don't have a passport, you can totally travel with that as well. It's all you need. The kicker with this Real ID, this, again, that they're masquerading this to be a driver's license, is that it is on the way to becoming an outlet for digital control. So you will have potentially to have this to get married, to go to school, to have all your medical records on it, facial recognition. It is something easy you can get rid of right now and not have any repercussions from it except for a couple bucks. Simple, simple, simple. All you do, go to your DMV, say you want your state driver's license back, get your picture taken, comes in the mail in a couple weeks. Second thing, Ray Moore, hopefully I'm saying that right. God, Ray, forgive me. He was the one who helped facilitate this Breatharian experience. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing this later, or if he and I are going to be teaming up yet for a couple more days. If you're interested in doing this initiation process yourself, you can get 10% off just using my name, because I think this is a huge, huge deal. After this is published, it's going to go down to 5%. So it will save you a good bit of money. And he does initiations once in Spain, once in the US, I think in Arizona. So they're coming up as well. Again, I feel this is so tremendous. Doing this, when you go through this process, you will eat 50 to 90% less. My goal being at least one day eating a week. We'll see. Garbage, 40 to 50% less garbage, because so much of the garbage that we acquire is from cooking, and waste from that. Sleeping less. I cannot, right now, I feel, even though I'm still thin or whatever, I do not feel like any disease or anything can touch me, because there's really nothing to touch. There's nothing in my body. There's nothing, like, my body is completely healing itself, completely becoming clean, letting go of all toxins, letting go of everything. Sleeping less, being a more New Earth human, less dense, more crystalline. My pineal gland is opening up. My connection to spirit is growing. I am just, wow. That was exciting to say. I feel better already. Oh my gosh. Thank you all for letting me get this off my chest, feeling strong again, and feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm a goddess. You are a god. Let's go. Okay, yeah, big thing. I almost forgot. Let me see how to start with this. I recently went to New Mexico. Again, talking about the Earthships, there was someone that I wanted to meet with. And the time there was pretty difficult, pretty challenging on many different aspects. So one of the gentlemen that I was going to meet owns a mushroom company. So as y'all know, I really put a kibosh, not that I drank that much anyway, maybe once a week, uh, with no sugar, no alcohol is one of the things I've been doing, because I also believe right now that alcohol are spirits. And when you numb yourself out to anything, that the darkness can come in, or when you're not being completely aware. And have since then also really seen how much it is so much in our face in our society, because it's supposed to be. The powers that be, the darker powers or whatever, want you to get off your game, to not be conscious. That's why every birthday party for adults, anyway. I was looking for memes for a birthday card for someone on the computer, and everything was about drinking. It was insane. So I'm going to start over. Oh my gosh. I did want to talk about this. This is another big thing. So this is coming in at the end. As you guys know, a couple years ago, sugar was big. I don't do caffeine anymore, and really decided no more drinking at all. And I didn't drink much anyway. It was about once a week, maybe every other week, a glass of wine. Yet, knowing where we are now in this energy, that I just didn't want anything to take me away from my consciousness, from my awareness. So, with that said, I ended up going to New Mexico a couple weeks ago, and one of the reasons was to meet with this one gentleman who was going to connect me with a lot of different people. So he has, or is starting. So he did a whole bunch of mushrooms in Chicago for restaurants, and now starting a mushroom company to highlight, I guess is the best way to say it, more of the magic of mushrooms. So, because I had a very stressful time there, I was like, okay, that night we were going out, I'm like, okay, just go ahead and give me what you would recommend for. Give me some mushrooms. Just telling me what you would recommend, and knowing that this is your business, that I think I would just like to try it out that night, just to get some of the stress off me. Y'all, it was one of the most painful experiences I've had, that went on for hours. I did not get any positive effect from it at all. Started probably an hour after I had taken some, and they were on the gummies. Major cramping. If I sat down and leaned back a little bit, I could be okay. But then we had to stand up for like 30 minutes. And that time, I mean, it wasn't just a tightness on my side, it moved to the front. It was just miserable. And when we got home around 10:30, I went straight to bed. Laying down flat helped, but I could feel it for probably like 3 or 4 more hours. And I was curious the next day if it was still going to hurt. So here's what I've learned from that experience, and I want to share it with you guys. For me personally, absolutely, absolutely no more alcohol. Even if it's just, oh, once 6 months, I'm just going to have a glass of red wine. No, I am not going to let any of these things go into my body at this point. And this is not to say they're bad or any of that. It's just for me, and for those of you. Right. And I am going to encourage this. So on my podcast as well, I'm not going to have any more, frog medicine, mushrooms, anything like that, because I also believe in this time you can have these experiences on your own. So when I went the fourth day, or the third night before the last day of my dry fast, I had a beautiful, like you would call it, a mushroom experience, where I think I described this. An octopus came and kissed me all over, a huge starfish that was right there that I got to touch. And plus, my work during the day all the time is seeing beyond the veil, seeing people that had passed over. I had a session a couple weeks ago where it was about gnomes, and seeing gnomes and the galactics that are appearing. And now it's becoming more than ever. So my show will not deal in that again, because I feel that right now it is not, for me especially, and for, I would say, for other light workers, it's not necessary. It's almost like it's not appropriate. Uh, so I want to encourage folks that if you are seeking enlightenment, if you are seeking to see more, you don't have to do that. All you need right now is you. And God, source, everything is right there to assist you, that you can do this on your own. Yeah, there you go. All right. Powerful goddesses and powerful godly men, all of it. Yes, 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 yes. Let's go. Y'all, find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Truth Social, as well as Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, plus a plethora of other audio directories like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So like, subscribe, do it all. See ya.